5 copywriting tips to convert more visitors into customers. Few businesses fully recognize the power of good writing. A well-written sales script is very often the difference between a conversion rate of 10% and a conversion rate of 0.0001%. This is your opportunity to convince people to buy from you, to explain to them why your product or service matters, and to hold their attention. How do you do it? Here are 5 strategies that make a big difference. Be clear and to the point. Vantage Media uses innovative thought leadership and a collaborative attitude to push forward into new frontiers. We provide cloud-based solutions for small to medium businesses that want to see real change in their strategy and mindset. What's wrong with this opening? Simple. It doesn't tell the audience what they need to know. Specifically, what your business does and why they should care. Too often we get caught up trying to sound professional or show off and fill our content with jargon and nonsense. In the worst case scenarios, you can come away from a homepage none the wiser as to what the business is actually offering or what it does. Good sales copy and copywriting in general doesn't deal in flowery language, but rather communicates clearly what the business does. And it gets there quickly. Use storytelling. Storytelling is SEO for the human brain. We are hardwired to respond well to stories. They engage us and keep us reading, and they motivate, inspire, and influence us. If you want to make sure that people don't leave your sales pitch halfway through, then find ways to relate to it personally and use a narrative around it. Use split testing. A split test means creating 2 slightly different versions of your copy to see which one sells best. This way, you can test different headers, different opening lines, etc. This allows you to see what is actually working rather than be led by subjective opinions. Add social proof. Including stats, figures, and quotes can make a big difference to your sales. Not only does this back up what you're saying and give you much more credibility, but it also creates social influence. People think that this is now what everyone is doing. And when everyone is doing something, we always want to get involved right away. Find the value proposition. Most important of all is to find the value proposition. That means understanding what it is about your product that is going to drive sales. This should mean finding the emotional hook and getting your audience to imagine how their life could be better as a result of buying from you. You aren't selling a fitness book. You're selling an amazing ripped body. You aren't selling an app that handles website design. You're selling a more beautiful, modern, and efficient website. You're selling the dream of a successful business. You need to understand this because it is ultimately emotion that drives us, not logic. So get your audience excited for the future you are offering. 5 easy upgrades you can offer customers to maximize your profits. Selling online can be a challenge, and this is something that many business owners must wrestle with on a regular basis. If you can convince people to buy from you online, then you can potentially drive a steady stream of sales that will be nearly entirely automated. This allows you to earn a passive income and make money while you sleep and relax. Or it can give you the funds you need to funnel back into your business and scale at an unprecedented rate. But this shouldn't be the end goal. Selling once is impressive, but selling twice or selling more is even better. What you may not realize is that getting someone to buy from you is the hard part. The biggest barrier is opening the wallet and entering the details. If you get your visitor to that point, then you've been highly successful. But then why stop there? It will now be considerably easier to convince your audience to take the next step and buy again, so make sure you don't miss that opportunity. Here's how you can do just that by offering upgrades and upsells. Premium Edition. One option is to offer a premium edition or a special edition. People love buying the most high-quality version of something, and they hate knowing that there is a more premium option available. Think about it. If you just convince someone to buy a product for $50, why wouldn't they pay an extra $10 to then upgrade that to the ultimate edition? This works great for physical products, but it can also be very effective with digital products. Your ebook could come with a more attractive cover, extra pages, and supplementary information, for example. Support. Offering support is a great way to add value, especially if your product is an app or software solution. Even for information products, though, offering some kind of direct access to the author or experts can be huge. How about membership of an exclusive group on Facebook, for example? Second copy. If your product benefits from multiple items, then this is a great and very simple way to upsell. Buy 1 for $20 or 2 for $30. It's a no-brainer. Even for digital products, this can work well if you have DRM. Just offer the second download as a gift. Subscription. Likewise, if your product is something that benefits from recurring orders or ongoing support, then you can also offer subscriptions. And if you already offer subscriptions, then how about selling a longer subscription for even more money? Money off the next product. Finally, one of the oldest tricks in the book is to offer money off the next purchase. This is great because it secures the next sale before you even have something to offer. It helps to build loyalty and trust with your audience and gives the buyer flexibility in how they redeem their offer. It's like a loyalty point system. 5 ways to boost sales using Instagram stories. Instagram is an extremely powerful tool for marketers and anyone selling a product. The key reason for this is that Instagram is one of the best options for selling the value proposition. The highly visual nature of Instagram makes it perfect for conveying not only information, but also feelings and emotions. You can, in short, use Instagram to make your products look and feel amazing. And this is key to success when it comes to selling. Instagram stories take this one step further by letting you speak with your audience in a more interactive manner. Here are some ways you can use stories to make more sales. Be sparing. The first tip for boosting sales using Instagram stories might come as a surprise. This is to be sparing with your use of them. The danger is that if you try to use stories too frequently and thus end up neutering some of their most powerful properties. Instagram stories have the huge benefit of being promoted specifically by Instagram. They are placed right at the top of the page when you load your home feed, and they even notify users when you post a new one. But that latter feature is only present if you don't post hundreds every 2 minutes. So wait until you really have something to say. Build rapport. Stories are fantastic for building a rapport with your audience and helping them to feel as though they know you and your business. This is huge, seeing as that familiarity builds trust. And when your audience trusts you, they are far more likely to buy from you. Run polls. A great way to generate content and to communicate with your audience with this in mind is to run polls. You can survey your audience, and this way they feel like they are engaging in conversation with you. That engagement translates to increased sales because they are paying your brand more attention. And it also means your audience will build that sense of recognition we discussed. Behind the veil. Stories are a great way to share information that you don't necessarily want to post to your wall. If you have a post that shows you getting up in the morning, for instance, or if you have a post that shows behind the scenes, this can ruin the visual language of your main feed. This is what makes stories so effective, as they are just a short-time insight for your most invested users. Use this as a way to show behind the scenes and let people gain some more understanding of your product, service, and values. Show the value. Finally, make sure that you are using your Instagram stories to really show the value of your product or service. What is it that your product or service offers? How will it benefit people and make their lives better than they were previously? By demonstrating the value, you can make sure that you build that emotion that leads to a sale. Add a link by swiping up, and you'll see your sales skyrocket. 6 tweaks you can make to your site to boost sales. What makes the difference between a successful online product and an unsuccessful one? A lot of presentations will try to tell you there is a one secret trick or some key strategy. But the truth is that a successful sales page is the sum of its parts. Your success comes from countless small design decisions, aspects of your copywriting, your marketing, your audience, the pricing, and the advertising campaign. There is not one thing you can change, but rather thousands of things. Some of these things are very simply alterations you can make to your page itself. And while these might not turn you into an overnight sensation, they can certainly help you to improve your conversion rate and increase profits. So here are 6 tweaks to consider making right now. 1. Increase load times. A slow-loading site does a few things. First, it makes your site seem less reliable and less professional. This can make people less comfortable about buying from you. Secondly, it means your audience has to wait longer, which in turn means that they will very often leave before your page is done loading. Speeding up your site, which can be as simple as installing a new plugin, can thus help you make a lot more sales. 2. Change your font. The font on your site is a key factor that often goes overlooked. Not only does this contribute to the overall design of your site and the way it makes your audience feel, but it also determines how readable your content is. People don't like squinting. 3. Remove navigation elements. If you have a menu on your sales page, then you are inviting your audience to leave. Remove it. 4. Add a video. Video is underutilized when it comes to making sales. The goal of a good video is to help people understand the value proposition of your site and to understand what you're offering. You can even set this to autoplay. 5. Use a better image. One of the biggest challenges of trying to sell something online is that your audience can't hold the product in their hands. That means they can't feel the weight or the premium materials. Your goal is therefore to convey that through your sales page by choosing the right image. If your product listing currently has a small grainy image of what you're selling, then you should consider changing that. 6. Offer a money-back guarantee. This is a simple line you can add to your sales pitch that makes all the difference. That's because it will help people to overcome any sense of uncertainty when buying from you. They will now know that if they don't like what they're buying, they can get their cash back, no questions asked. The thing to realize as the seller is that very few buyers ever ask for a refund. That means there is no reason not to use this strategy, and every reason that you should. Content is king. 5 reasons you need to be producing more content. Content is what makes the web go round. You'll hear this a lot in marketing circles, but that doesn't make it any less true. Think about it. The internet is nothing if not a web of content. It is writing, it is video, and it is sound. All of that is content. If you don't have content then, you can't possibly stand out and stay afloat. You'll be drowned out by the noise. And if it's not enough simply to have content, it needs to be content that has high volume and high value. You need lots of excellent content. Here's why. Brand awareness. Studies show that people will only usually buy on the 7th or 8th exposure to a brand. It's by this point that they recognize the brand and trust it well enough to consider investing money. If you post regular content to your site or to social media, then you create lots of opportunities for people to be exposed to your brand and your message. Each one of those builds up and creates a greater likelihood that they will consider buying from you. SEO. Content is important for SEO. This is something that is overlooked too often. While there are countless strategies for increasing the search traffic that comes to your site, targeting keywords, building links, etc., the single most important and effective strategy is to add lots of content to your site. This is how the biggest and most successful brands on the web succeed. If you have hundreds of new articles on your site every month, you create countless opportunities to win at the SERPs and to bring in long-tail traffic. Eventually, you will succeed through sheer force. Return customers. People will come back to your site regularly if you give them a good reason to do so. If you post the odd article every few months, then people will quickly forget about you. But if there are lots of fascinating new posts every single day, then people might start to read your site each morning, or at least several times a week. Think about the websites that you visit on a regular basis yourself. They are all likely to be sites that provide you with an incentive to keep coming back. Brand loyalty and trust. The other reason to keep posting content is to develop your relationship with your audience and to build trust. Trust is a strange thing in that it very largely comes from familiarity and exposure. Simply seeing more of you ensures that your audience knows you better, likes you more, and feels more comfortable buying from you. This is as simple as posting regularly. Direct sales. Finally, keep in mind that each post can generate direct revenue from ads, or even by selling your products. If you include a reference to your product and a link in each post, they will then generate profit. You are now in a situation where each post pays for itself, meaning that there is no reason not to keep writing more of them.